Apple unveils their reality headset, the Vision Pro. That's what it's called.
Yeah, Apple Vision Pro. Yeah.
Bro, this thing's like $4,000. Like, what the hell? Like,
So they unveiled it and state of the art.
Yeah.
Everything it does. Right.
Yep.
It's pixel count and it's cameras and the features that it has. Even how it looks aesthetically, like it looks very. Apart from the battery thing, which I think is the very non-Apple sort of thing.
Yeah. From a design perspective.
But otherwise, it is groundbreaking, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
From people who've tried it. Until they showed the price.
Yeah.
There was a lot of excitement about this until they showed the price of $3,500.
Yeah.
Which in this day and age, like spending on this type of stuff is. You can't do it now. Really, like it is a very niche audience they're going after, but even more niche people who are going to spend that much to buy that.
Yeah,
which is why I think they're only producing like 1 million of these worldwide, right?
So who's the intended target market for this, by the way?
I mean, I believe they've got a longer term plan about this. Yeah. I mean, they've made this the standard because we've seen headsets before from Meta,
exactly,
which are cheaper, right? Like $500, $600 to $700. And they're targeting like the gaming sort of market a bit.
Yeah.
They're also trying to do the lifestyle thing, but like it has cheaper cameras, like it's a cheaper headset.
Yep.
Apple's just gone and said, mate, this is the standard.
Yeah.
Right? We're not making anything until this is the standard, and that standard, the price of that goes down. That's what I believe they're doing. Because they've called it the Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Right? And they've done that on purpose because they want that to be the standard. But then I can see down the line, maybe 3 or 4 years, them releasing like an Apple Vision.
Yeah.
And then that's like maybe something like a phone.
Yeah.
The price of a phone.
Yeah.
Maybe like $1,200.
Yep.
And saying, you can get this on a plan. And then basically what I believe, from what we've seen, right, from the video.
Yeah.
And from people's accounts that it's supposed to replace your iPhone.
But just to check, I didn't see the whole thing, like the whole broadcast. Who like what's the use? Is it augmented reality? Like what happened? Like
mixed reality. So they got a different take on it than Meta does.
But aren't they still talking about these Zoom calls that are just ultra immersive and all that shit?
So the way they've got it done is it is still a headset. It's not like they've got clear glass.
Yeah.
It's a headset and they've got cameras.
Yeah.
Now, I believe Meta has tried this before with their Meta Quest Pro, but the cameras weren't that great and like it was a bit blurry. Apparently, these ones are very, very clear. You put them on and it just feels like you're seeing through them. But you're not. It's just seeing through the cameras.
Yeah.
But this is so clear and it's so... Like, people don't think there's no controllers with these.
Yep.
So that's usually how the Meta Quest ones are controlled with controllers. This is all just finger-based gesture, and apparently it's very well refined. And that you just look at something, and then it sort of pops up like, "Oh, you're looking at me," and you just go like with your little finger, you go bang.
Yep.
And then, like they say, people have tried to say that is revolutionary.
Yep.
It also has the ability, if you're wearing it, to record 3D sort of video.
Yep.
So they showed like something like a birthday party. And this guy's got it on. It looks weird when you're obviously if you're at a birthday party and you got that on, you're recording. It looks weird. But like when you watch it back, it does feel like you're there.
Yeah, right.
So that to me, that's what people have said that they've been blown away by.
Yeah.
It's like you've taken a moment of time, and it just feels like you're back in that moment of time.
Yeah.
And to me, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's the fascinating part of it. That's where I feel that they're in their marketing, Apple are being very good at, better than Meta.
Yeah.
Meta's focused very gaming sort of stuff.
Yep.
Apple's more like, what is this tech going to make you feel?
Yep.
And I reckon they've done it.
Well, that's typical Apple marketing, right? They're very emotional. Like that's the line that they go down.
That to me was where the potential is, but I mean, the form factor at the moment,
still clunky, man.
It is clunky.
It's huge. Like,
I mean, I have thoughts on the technology as a whole that we're not going to get to mass market until you have something like Ray-Ban.
That's happened before. The Google Glass has happened before, though, right?
Yeah, that was very early concept and very short field of view.
Yeah.
But when we get all of that tech
Yeah.
into a pair of Ray-Bans that you can just put in your pocket, bring it up,
Yeah.
that's when I see that replacing the phone.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what they
Not everyone wears glasses though?
Well, they could see them do. Because right now everyone's like, if the generation
Yep.
is all looking down,
Yep.
their necks are straining, all that.
Yeah, yeah.
I could see this being a thing where, because the way they've marketed it and then they said it in the presentation is that this is going to be the first device, Apple device,
Yep.
that you don't touch and like that there's a screen that you actually see through.
You're right.
That it's going to be you're looking through it. It's part of your environment.
Yep.
And to me, I think it's a lot of these companies are trying to get to that form factor of the Ray-Ban glasses and all the power in that. But to do that, you need to start somewhere. And this is where Apple started.
Yeah.
With that standard.
Yeah.
So I mean, like Meta. I think Zuckerberg's even said, like, look, it is impressive, but what we're doing is different. It's more like gaming and focused and stuff like that. And
I mean, the Oculus is still selling, right?
it's sold pretty well, like 25 million units.
What's Microsoft? They also have a version of this, right?
Yeah, they've got something called HoloLens, but it's more
selling it to like the military or something
industry
like that.
focused. It's not really
mass market.
Mass market.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Even this, like 3,500, it would be like the real Apple hardcores that would buy it.
yeah.
And I could see this being like demoed a lot on the Apple stores and people trying out the technology. I think it's mainly there to start it.
I think so too.
Kickstart the developers developing the apps. And then once they've got all the, because this can also, you can get your iPad apps and iPhone apps and put them on the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
Once this has got like a pretty decent app store with a lot of offerings that would be killer apps, then I reckon maybe 5 years time they release something that is very Apple-like and that it's just like seamless. It's a pair of glasses. That's the goal, I think, for a lot of these companies. I think that tech isn't there yet. Right at the moment.
Yeah, I can't help but think. I mean, firstly, this tech, if it's as good as you say it is, and I don't doubt it, is expensive, right?
Yeah, that's
like it can't be cheap.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think it's a bit of a 3D play by Apple to get ownership in the consumer's mind. I mean, an Apple store, if you think about like the Apple store in Sydney, people don't really buy shit there, right?
No.
It's a pure branding store.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, to have one of those bloody units there, people will be coming in.
I could see
oh
lines for
shit,
that.
I can't afford that. But you know what? I'm going to buy the new iPhone. Like, while they get, like, you're right, the form factor and the pricing economics definitely has to get to a point of affordability. But to that point as well, before the iPhones, people never spent $2,000 on a phone.
No.
They're doing it now.
They're doing it now, right?
They can't live without the damn
Apple's
thing.
got them used to doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing, right? They've got to get the consumer used to the idea of a headset. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to display their tech in the Apple stores. They're going to, people who buy it are going to show it off to their, their friends. And get at least the Apple audience used to the idea.
Yeah.
Then maybe down the line, you'll see one with a form factor that would be much more mass market, and that's when the fun begins, right? Because then that sort of tests, like, because right now there's a lot of skeptics about, like, whether I don't want to wear this type of stuff on my face, blah, 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 right? There were a lot of skeptics before, like, the iPhone, like, well, I don't know what the hell. Like, Apple's going to release their own version of a Palm Pilot. Well, I don't like it. Yeah, but they thought of their own way of revolutionizing that whole technology.
Yep.
And bringing things together like a Palm Pilot, a music player, a phone, all into one thing in their own way. And that's what I believe they're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. I agree. I think once they start integrating like AI into it, like, and like use case, I think the other thing as well is if you think about it, right? We love software updates, right? Who doesn't love a software update when it happens? Yeah. The problem is there's no differentiation in software at the moment, meaning that like if they had like very different software, I mean they will because the use case is different and the way you interact with the product is different. That could be enough to get people to purchase it and stuff like that, right? Like if you have a very different access
different
to it.
It does look different.
Or if you have synergies with your iPhone. And right now, you're right. It's just there. I think you're right. At that price, they know that they can't sell a lot of it. Definitely not from a mass market perspective, but it's sowing the seeds of that tech
down the road,
and Apple being basically that It's brilliant, actually. It's brilliant. I mean, we're talking about it, right?
Without the first iPhone, you don't get
Yeah.
something great like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
iPhone 4 was at the time.
Which then makes me think then, like, who, like, in your right mind, who would buy the first version? Like, it's a weird one, right?
There's the hardcore Apple audience. And I think that's what they're
Disposable income.
banking on, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The hardcore Apple audience and developers are going to be their main sort of thing,
Yeah.
right? Getting it to the developers,
Yep.
trying to get them to make something.
Yep.
And yeah, that's where I see the tech. But I mean, yeah, I still think there is. Yeah, I mean, I reckon we're not at the stage yet. The technology is not at the stage yet for it to be mass market.
Yeah.
And however long that takes, I've heard stuff like, 2030 is when that's going to happen.
Yep.
Like that's still a while away for that tech to catch up into that form factor that we want, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we just have to wait and see because. But then there's like I've heard a lot of people's reaction to it be like, oh, I don't want to wear stuff on my face.
Yeah. I mean, I never wanted to pay $1,000 for a phone, so like things can change, right?
Yeah, things can change.
If the experience is good enough, people will pay for it.
That's what I think.
You just need to show that.
Yeah.
You just need to prove that as a test case.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll just go off when Marquez Brown and all those guys start reviewing it.
Yeah,
he's already reviewed it, right?
So,
but that's what I mean.
A lot of
right?
these tech journalists, they got like tryouts at the event.
Yeah, but they had to sign NDAs and all that bullshit.
Sign NDAs, but like people have been blown away by it. That's what I said.
Yeah, well, Apple fanboys.